Let's now jump into the actual steps that a retailer should approach this if they're interested in launching the Recommerce. Let's start from the capability analysis.
Like with most cases, any transformation or any new launch, starting with the first step is just analyzing your capabilities and then understanding what are you good at and what's the current situation. For example, how much product returns you get, what kind of products you get. In the context of Recommerce, I think there are capabilities that matter more that probably should take, let's say, 60 or 80% of your focus when doing the analysis. And then the 20% can be done maybe more superficially. So the idea is not to spend hundreds of thousands in consultants doing a sustainability analysis or capability analysis. The idea is just to look at few specific things and understanding, are you capable of executing already on top of what you have in place, or do you need to do some adjustments, or might you elect to actually outsource that capability in totality?
In maybe concrete examples, what are the capabilities that they should be looking into?
They are a bit tied to what you're looking to launch, but in general, the first thing to look at is your reverse logistics capabilities on how good are you at accepting product returns. So channel-wise, are you able to accept returns in store? So just someone actually coming to the store and returning the item themselves? Or do you have some systems in place where you're capable of accepting product returns via shipping? So kind of, for example, if you're an e-commerce operator, what kind of solutions you have in place in accepting product returns, and what is your process there? Do you offer refunds or partial like discounts or similar? So that's kind of the first one that I would look into, like how scalable is your reverse logistics operations, and what's the state of your product return inventory as that has been processed. So what I mean by that once your product return process is done, where do you see, like what's the data that you see? Do you have a individualized item sitting in some system or recorded somewhere where you know its condition and what it is and model and the reason why it was returned? Or have you just issued a refund and then you have a pile of unidentified items in some store corner or warehouse corner?
Okay, so reverse logistics, how is it handled now? Is it logged into some kind of inventory management system, and kind of are you maybe creating a digital twin out of those items that you have physically in some warehouse or some location where you gather all the product returns? And probably there's some operational capabilities also related to this process and like what already happens to these items after they are returned.
Yeah, so effectively looking at your existing product return process and looking at what systems were used and what's the state of the systems after the product has been returned. I think that would be the first step that I would analyze, because it's effectively helping you understand how well identified supply do you have for any, for example, resale initiative that we would launch. If you look into the product return process, you quite quickly understand that is it good enough, or are there small parts where you need to adjust something? For example, all right, let's actually, instead of generalizing all of these product returns under some bulk SKU, let's figure out how might we just bridge the final last mile of that to a place where every item is uniquely serialized at the end of the product return process, so that anything that you decide to do with the items later is acting on the premise that, hey, I have a well-recorded list of all product returns, individualized in condition and price and all of the needed details, and potentially even unique product images.